You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
Very good evening, everyone watching live on YouTube or seeing wherever you are. If it's not today, then welcome along. If you hear a big smash on the ground, then apologies for that, but issues my lighting there, so we do apologise.
Brilliant. I love a start to the show.
Yeah,
like
well, it's a dynamic start to the show. Why not? I've been waiting for over a year. My lights obviously know that I've been waiting for your presence onto my show for over a year. Because last year, I was reached out randomly one afternoon. I remember it very clearly, and as one of the first people to reach out to me saying, "Would you be interested having on Laurence Jones?" And I thought, why not? And I see you've been doing some fantastic stuff, and I thought, yes, absolutely. I thought, why not? And ever since then, I've either been told you're too busy, or when we were going to do this last week, you were unwell. This is unfortunate, but I'm glad to see now that you are here tonight. That the family have been on my radar for over a year, being told by the gentleman who reached out to me originally to get this hooked up and everything like that to everyone on the show. So thank you very much for being here this evening, and I'm glad that you are feeling better now as well. So this is the main thing.
Yeah, thank you very much. I suffer with Crohn's disease, so I was quite ill with that before Christmas. Just feeling a lot better now. I was just resting up before a very busy tour. So yeah, I was keeping healthy, boring and healthy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I hope your Crohn's disease is on the is treatable, and hopefully it doesn't cause you any issues on your upcoming tour this year, which we'll get into very shortly. But I mean, when it was announced, I guess when you first found out that I was interested in having you on the show, I guess I could be completely wrong, but I don't know if it was you who decided to tell this person to say you reached out to this bloke, or once he told you that I was interested in having you on the show, did you do any of your own digging or even commenting or even fanning myself, or maybe your first reaction was, who on earth is this bloke?
Oh, I'm quite nosy. I like to vet everyone who likes to interview us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just check you out on all the socials, and thought you're making an effort and you got a cool angle on it as well. And I thought, you know what, this will be fun. Well, I'm up for this interview.
Yeah, as I say, thank you so much, and I'm glad that you liked what you saw, and thank you again
a pleasure.
for your time this evening.
Thank you.
I see that on your upcoming tour, which we'll show here. We show it briefly when I show you a screen. But you're starting on, again, you started already, part of your tour already. And I know that you are heading across England and United Kingdom, and you're heading over to Manchester as well, which we're right here on the 7th of March. I can see right there. Heading also to other areas like Birkenhead. I've been there before to Birkenhead. Very, very, very good place to go. Very good people.
Right, yeah, it's going to be a great venue as well.
Yes, it is. At the Future Yard, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And you're also from Liverpool yourself. When you were growing up for the first several years of your life, and I guess you get to return home, as they say, for a short bit.
Yeah, peace and love, as Ringo Starr would say. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, tell us about this stuff. Tell us about what made you to think that this was the year to go on tour again across the UK. What was it? Was it from like people come up to you in the street or online saying, "I want you to come back to our great town or city to perform again"? What was the drive behind it?
Well, I have an agent who books me gigs in the UK, and they got a call from the Music Venue Trust, which is a great charity to help save all the grassroots venues and just promote great things for artists who need support, and basically get the support from the government and get the government behind it, which is what this country needs, right?
Yeah.
So they came to my agent. Yeah, it's amazing. So they came to my agent and said, we've got an opportunity to save 32 grassroots venues around the UK, and promote them and try and pack them out and get people in, and bring some business to the venues. And give back a little bit to where I started in these grassroots venues. I started back in the pubs years ago and worked my way up to the clubs and up to the ticketed grassroots venues. So they really gave me a chance when nobody else would. So it's really good to be a part of this tour. And when they asked me, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do.
Great to hear. I think it's a great thing to do because, as I said, many local sports and venues across the United Kingdom are closing down because of what's happened in the last few years. And it's great that people like yourself are now utilizing them and draw people back, and hopefully not just for events but other aspects as well to be used in these venues. Instead of just shutting them down and being not used anymore, it's good to bring people back out to use them for other things.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we went on tour with Status Quo last year, so we really saw an increase in ticket sales through doing, such a big tour in arenas and big summer festivals. So it's great to be going back to some of these key areas in smaller clubs and clubs that need it, and it's going to be fun as well. There's so many different venues on this tour from we just did Bury St Edmunds, the Apex. It's like a 800 capacity, beautiful theatre, and then we're doing cooler places, like more rock club vibe in Manchester, and it's just cool to go out there and do something different and just sticking to the same every day.
Yeah, no, I get that. And you mentioned, as many people have called you in other interviews and other publicity you've done so far. A blues rock legend, as some of you have been called, or even a blues guitarist, which you are, and when you get compared to being like a rock star, what's that like being compared to as well? Because was that always your aim to be, I guess, a rock star in your own man from blues background?
Well, I am from Liverpool, so I've always been a bit naughty anyway. I've never been good as gold, so people's always thought I was always the kid at school getting kicked out. But in terms of being a rock star, I think anyone who's a musician lives to different rules to normal people in 9-to-5 job. We'll get into the hotel late, might be a bit noisy, or we'll lie in and then we'll stay up all night, sort of thing, writing songs. So it's a very different vibe to your normal job.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. And so, tell me about your tour so far. Of course, you've already started it, and how's it going so far? Has it been good as you expected it to be, or even better than you expected it to be so far? And how's the audiences been taking it as well?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, so we've done 5 shows on the tour so far. We did Colchester Arts Centre, which was like a beautiful church, and it was like the 9th of January. It was absolutely freezing. And we had like 200 people come out, over 200 people that came out to come and see us. And I wasn't expecting a good turnout first night of the tour, so close to New Year. And it was amazing. It was like, wow, the tour's arrived, sort of thing. And then the day after, we did 229 in London, which is a huge venue as part of the London Blues Festival as well. And it was really cool. Really, really cool. The energy in London's always amazing. Packed out, about 400 people all standing up. It was people come from all over the world to travel to come and see us there as well, which was amazing support for the venue. They said they sold a full keg of beer, so they were made up as well. So happy days for the venue, and then we rolled on to Bury St Edmunds, had a really successful packed out night there, and then we rolled into Cannock, and being honest, Cannock we struggled a little bit because it's of the area. It's got a lot of competition in town. It hasn't had as much money invested into the arts with Birmingham. So it's more about supporting the independent venue there. So we went there on a very cold night on a Friday, but we went there and we rocked it. It was less than 100 people, but that's what this tour's about. It's about supporting these venues and bringing fans to these venues that wouldn't normally go there.
Not just that though, but also having that personal touch. And I think I find many people like you as well, not just for your music, but for your personality and for being that personal, being able to, some days you may go from I don't know, thousands of people to 100s of people.
Yeah.
So not many artists will go back down to that level. Once they've got to a certain height,
Mm.
they stay there. But while you always want to support venues and bring
Yeah.
people to those small venues, and I think that's why people connect with you more easily, I think, as an outsider looking into your world.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, a lot of these venues really supported me in the early days, and I built up relationships and friendships with a lot of them. So, they've asked for favors over the years, and when I asked for favors, when I used to ring them up and mither them and say, "Come on, can you get me on this support or whatever?" So it's always nice to remember where you've come from, because I can still do the big gigs and to thousands of people, but it's nice to still do the little gigs for the fans. Because from my point of view, going to see gigs, I recently went to see James Bay.
Oh yeah,
it was a fantastic venue in Nottingham called the Metronome, and it was 400 people, absolutely incredible, up close and personal. And even James Bay said, it was really cool and personal. And yeah, now he's doing Wembley Arena on his tour, or Nottingham Arena. So
wow.
It's just cool for the fans to see that, that intimacy up close before, they do go too big as well. And it's nice when artists, vary it up a little bit, because the fans really appreciate that.
Exactly, and it keeps them engaged and want to see them again at a closer level.
Definitely.
So you mentioned about, as we mentioned before, you're about growing up in Liverpool and then moving further afield. What do you think is so special about always returning back to Liverpool for you?
I think first of all, my family. Just got so many memories there growing up, and I just love the people there. It's always the people. They're so friendly and got their own sort of vibe, haven't they?
Yeah.
And their own lingo. They very look after their own people. The Scousers do, and the Northerners. So it's about family, and I just love the way of life up there. So it seems like a little bit slower pace of life up there, and whenever we go up to the gigs, they're always loud and rowdy. So you get the best of both worlds, really. But yeah, in terms of Liverpool in particular, I think for the music, obviously the most obvious one is the Beatles, and when you go down there, everyone's busking, and it's just such a vibe. The whole city's vibrant, full of music.
No, it is, and I think that's where, as I say, the wildest of fans come from is always from up north. I feel like we're always very passionate about music or for our favourite sports teams or whatever it may be. But we're always very passionate to I guess the Americans or Europeans. They're always trying to outdo us or always shocked at how much we put in, how much energy we have compared to their sports team they have in other countries. And I mean, I guess for yourself, I mean, what are your 2025 goals? Because you did a lot last year, and I wonder how you're going to top what you did last year this year.
Yeah, I'm always trying to top every year. I've always got high ambitions. That's part of the problem. I never stop. But yeah, I think just keep going. I've got a very special release coming out soon, which I can't say too much about.
Good teaser.
But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I've got some really exciting stuff planned this year. So. Fingers crossed.
Any collaborations?
Maybe. Who knows?
Good teaser. Good teaser. I like that.
I'd love to. I always love a good collaboration. I always think it pushes you, playing with different people and brings a different side out of you as well.
No, I agree. I do.
But yeah, we've got a great year ahead. We've got this tour's taking us all the way up to May.
Yeah.
And we're off to the Netherlands in May. We've got a great headline tour. We go out there and do really well. Got a really fun summer of gigs in Germany, the Netherlands, the UK. We're playing some really cool festivals there as well. Bunk Fest is a brilliant one in Oxford. Check that out. So yeah, playing all over the place really, and yeah, keeping the diary open as well to see what comes in.
Yeah, absolutely, and some great places you mentioned, and I'm glad you're not just staying here in the UK to May, but you're also going further afield, going abroad, which is always good as well. Get a different atmosphere altogether,
Yeah,
different fans as well, and I
yeah, it's
hope
great.
as well that the weather's better, maybe even better than it is here, maybe when you go over there. But I like how you're going from January till May, when the weather is about to improve, and then you decide to jot off over to our European neighbours and play some fantastic music over there in, I guess, some gorgeous places and hopefully some better weather.
Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, we just choose to choose to cram in all the clubs in the winter and have it cool over here. And we love to do the club tours around that time, the winter, spring, and then when we go out to the summers, yeah, we pick the festivals that we want to go to and try and do a few big ones in the summer to make us feel like rock stars, and then
Why
come
not?
back home.
Why not? Why not? You only live once, so
Exactly,
you're
exactly.
doing a
That's
fantastic
the
job.
saying.
Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job as you are. So keep it up, and we
Nice
can't wait to
one.
see what happens in the coming months. And of course, if you don't know, you can follow my guests on social media. You can see the graphic right here on your screen. Laurence Jones official on Facebook, X Laurence Music, and on Instagram, Laurence Jones Music, and other platforms include YouTube as well, which includes just at Laurence Jones, which I have linked in the description of this video. So you can find his YouTube channel in my description below, and you may got a notification that I tagged you. Who knows? I don't know.
Cool. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I can't see you on this screen at the moment, so I just got. Hopefully, it's come across all right.
Yeah, no, you're doing completely fine. You can see your guitar on your, I guess,
Nice.
on your
Yeah,
right
there's
hand
my
side.
acoustic. There's the guitar practice on.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess you got lots of special memories, and we
We got
can see a picture behind you as well there. We can't
we
really.
got Jimmy. That was gifted by a lovely friend and fan of ours from the Netherlands.
That's cool.
That was really
That's a
nice.
good special message for you then, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, it's really nice. We
Yeah.
got some great fans, and that's what it's about.
Exactly, exactly, and that goes back to before about how people like to interact with you, and they always know that you're very personal and very respectful, and will always try to respond to everybody as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I had been coming out to the shows before I got ill, but doctor's orders with a low immune system that I couldn't come out mixing after the show with it. Lots of colds going around, but
Mm.
just want to say thank you very much to all the fans that have bought tickets and come out to support these venues because it's a great cause and I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can't agree with you more there because it's just true what you guys are doing, and helping as many local venues as possible to keep as many of them open and able to keep them financially stable with all what's going on in the last few years. You mentioned before that there's some possible collabs maybe this year, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens with your new single as well, which you mentioned as well. But who's on your bucket list to collab or even go on tour with?
Oh, I think John Mayer or Eric Clapton would be the dream.
Yeah,
Love to
dreamy.
tour with Gary Clark Jr. or maybe do a more modern tour with someone like Royal Blood or
Yeah,
something like that. Rival Sons, I've toured with them before. That's quite cool doing the big rock shows.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's always great as well because there's many people out there probably think that they won't really associate blues with rock or blues with pop, and it's great to see the crossover in this occasion. So tell us about this because there's probably a misconception about this, isn't there, out there?
Yeah, I mean, well, a good example of like the crossover, I guess, and the band we toured with is Status Quo.
Yeah,
They're known for their, I'd say, pop, blues, and rock, aren't they?
yeah,
They crossed over into the mainstream like that. So I think you've got to find your own theme and find your own sound, which I've always tried to do because whenever I try and copy my heroes, it just doesn't sound like them. So I'm like, right, well, I've got to find my own riff then and see if someone can try and copy me, and maybe they might not be able to copy me, and I've
yeah,
found my own sound. Then, a saying I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was John Mayer, but he said he got his sound through failing to sound like his heroes. So I thought that was a real cool way of looking at
Yeah,
it.
good perceptive, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, really cool.
Is there I guess, a dream location or a dream venue you would love to perform in front of in the in the future?
Yeah, I mean, my favourite place is in Madeira, in the Portuguese island. Love going on holiday there. Like to relax there. When I've had a very stressful couple of years, I normally go and fly out to Madeira and take a week or two out there. Um, but I haven't been for a while because of COVID, and then we kick-started it again on tour. But yeah, I just love to be able to do a big gig out there. They often do big festivals in parks, and I just I've done a few gigs out there. I'm friends with a blues band called the Black Dog Blues Band, and my good friend Daniel plays harmonica. So
Oh, cool.
I met him in the hotel when I was like 10 years old, and he got me up to jam with him, and we've stayed in touch all these years. So whenever I fly, go out to Madeira, Daniel always puts a little gig together, and we always end up doing a blues jam. So we always do some sort of small little gig. So I'd like to be able to do some massive gig and give back to Madeira as well. And Daniel, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
One day.
But I'm so glad you guys are still in touch after all these years. After meeting them when you're 10 years old and staying in touch all this time, because people they get lives, they get busy. It's hard to keep in contact, even long distance as well. Because different countries, whatever. So with the time differences and whatnot as well. But it's good to see you guys do keep in touch, which is I guess the main thing.
Yeah, I mean with music, I mean we might not chat for a good 6 months or something like that, but whenever you do, you've got so much in common, and when you get up on stage, and you've got the connection together with the music, it's like that's quite rare to get as well in that way. So you do appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. When you're not on tour or trying to make new music for your fans, how do you try to relax, if you can at all?
Well,
maybe you don't relax. Maybe this is how you do relax, by playing and creating content.
I'll relax by doing lots of Facebook posts and interviews. No, that's what the record label like. No, I like to watch rugby league. I love rugby league, obsessed with it. My team's St Helens. I've played at the Totally Wicked Stadium, and become good friends with them over the years. They've invited us to dinners with the players, and the award ceremonies, and that's such a buzz for me. It makes me want to be involved in the club and everything like that. I used to play for Worcester Warriors. I got scouted for rugby union when I was like 14 years old. I was a little nifty scrum half.
And what happened?
And,
you
so
decided
that was my passion, rugby. I love it.
Yeah, no, well, you surprised me tonight, so I'm glad you got scouted. But I mean,
yeah, but unfortunately, it was for the rugby union, for the softer game. I like the rugby league, you see.
Fair enough. But still an honour. Still an honour to get scouted, though.
No, I was very good. I mean, I guess my dad's always been driven in no matter what I've done. He used to, be very driven. He was part of the coaches, and I guess with my music, he made me practice like 3-4 hours a day. When I started out on the classical guitar when I was like 10, 12 years old, so I used to always moan at him and think, I hate that he was calling me up saying, have you practiced? But I guess sort of it paid off in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I guess you had to choose between rugby and music, and you chose music.
Exactly. And I guess that was two of my passions. But at one point, I did have to sort of choose. I remember getting injured quite a lot, and someone had studied on my hands, and I thought one of my friends was a pianist as well who played for Worcester.
Wow.
And I remember us quitting at the same time together, being like, "Yeah, shall we just go and focus on music? Because I'm gonna break my hand on the next game." And there was an air ambulance every other game. It was getting tough, so we were like, "Yeah, let's go and try the music out and get less hurt doing this."
Yeah. Well, you think so, but you can still get hurt though by playing a musician, can't you? Oh. Oh, we've lost. Have I lost signal?
Say that again. Sorry,
Sorry, I lost signal. I think I don't
I
know what's
lost you
happened.
for a moment there.
Yeah, no problem. I was just saying, you can still get injured when playing a musical instrument, though.
Oh, I've got injured many times playing a musical instrument. I've hit myself with a headstock on stage. I've fell over the monitor on stage.
Oh no.
Nearly broke my ankle, and I've actually dropped the guitar. One of the straps fell off it, and it hit down on my toe. It broke my toe.
Ooh, ouch. Do you
That was
get
very sore.
do you get stage fright or anything like that when you don't always because people go on tour, they do this massive tour, let's say for 6 months, and then they have a few months off and whatnot, and then start up again. Do you ever get any stage fright, or are you always way more confident when you're out there in front of your people, or do you still get stage fright today?
I think if it's a huge gig, I've done some gigs where I've played like the Royal Albert Hall or
Yeah.
the Carnegie Hall in New York. I mean, gotta say I was pretty nervous because they were sold out. But them nerves sort of fuel me in that way. I don't feel sick like some people do and really, like jittery backstage. I'm like, right, let's just get on the stage, and it's like an adrenaline before you go in a boxing ring. I sort of use it to my advantage, and I sort of thrive off the nerves a little bit. I think when I get nervous now and again, probably once out of 10 gigs, I might get nervous, and I might get nervous if it's like my family's coming or a friend's coming or the friends of the bands or someone important from the management team or industry.
Yeah.
Or a famous guitarist or other guitarist might be watching. That sort of stuff makes me more nervous than coming out there to thousands of people. That's what I live for.
Yeah, that's fair. But hopefully, those mistakes which you mentioned a few minutes ago about falling over or dropping things, hopefully that not happening in front of thousands of people. Cause I'm sure that gone viral somewhere or be a blooper.
Luckily, that was in the early days.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I think even before the Facebook days, maybe 2000, just as Facebook was coming up, maybe 2010, when I was home in my stagecraft. But now I am a lot more careful. I've learned to take my leads down on stage.
Fair enough.
You learn the hard way.
So you've not had any bloopers in recent years, which is good, and hopefully that does not happen in your current tour either. I don't want to be your jinx.
Well, nothing much can go wrong apart from the instruments breaking because we got no laptops on stage.
Yeah.
We try and do it real as possible.
Absolutely. People like the real thing, and you guys certainly
Exactly.
do that.
There's not much can go wrong. One vocal, drums, bass, and guitar.
No, absolutely. But as I say, things do happen at the craziest thing, don't they?
But the show must go on.
Yes, most definitely. So I guess, is there anything you want to transition into? Because many people start out in music and then they transition into other things, or is your life just really just music, or is there anything you want to go into and think, I want to try that?
I mean, I would love to, but being completely honest with you, it's got such a busy schedule.
Yeah.
When I do come home, I do, very tired, like to relax, and I think a lot of musicians just crave being home when they've had such a busy schedule, meeting so many people, going to different cities and different countries every day. You really miss the things at home. So I like to spend family time, love going out on walks, and I love eating. My band's always saying, "Oh, you're a feeder, feeding us up."
So what are some things you eat then?
I'm having Crohn's, so I can eat what I want.
What are some things you eat when on tour?
Say that again. Sorry.
On that point about when you're always feeding your band, what's something you go to you eat then?
Oh well, I'd say go to would be either a Wagamama's or a Nando's. I do like them. They are my go-tos.
Good choices, I like that. And I was also thinking just then as well about if a film was made about you in the future, who would you want to play you?
I'd like Jack O'Connell to play us.
Okay, good pick. Good pick. How come? Is it something about his personality which has similar to you?
Yeah, I just think he's a great British actor. He comes from um, the BBC. It was sort of like a program in Nottingham.
Yeah.
They helped bring up all the actors, and he was in This Is England and Skins, and yeah, everything he sort of was in. He had that real British vibe about him, which I think he could portray that across pretty cool, being in a rock and roll band.
Yeah, yeah, I can't disagree with that. You can still find my guests on as well here on tour. Of course, it's already began, and he is next performing in later this week on the 31st of January, this Friday at the Old Bakery Studios, and then of course you're starting again on the Saturday, the 1st of February, at the Treehouse. And
Yeah.
then on tour all over the place. You can find all the dates there on your screen, and you can, are tickets still available on your tour, by the way?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you can get them on my website, www.laurencejonesmusic.com. Just go on there and go on the tour page, and yeah, you can go and get tickets straight from my website.
Yep, indeed you can. And is there anything else you would like to mention here tonight? Besides that mention, which you think is important to get off your chest?
No, I think that's cool. Just keep coming out there and supporting the venues. A few of them are selling out. Tickets are selling well, and then obviously some areas need backing, like all venues do. So as much support as you can get. The local papers, the local radio have been really supportive behind us as well. Or the BBC interviews have been really fantastic to go out there and spread the gospel for the venues. So yeah, that's my mission this year. That's what I wanted to get off my chest.
Yes.
And this cough.
Yeah. well, I always say to all my guests, in case, I think we have a great conversation, but I mean, if there's something I've not brought up which you think is very important, then that's your I guess your final point, on the show.
I'm a man on a mission, and yeah, with 32 gigs coming up in 3 months, I haven't got much else to think about.
Well, we wish you the best of luck on your tour, by the way. I hope you have a lit time, as they say on the streets, and I hope you have a great
yeah, lit
support.
time.
Yeah, I hope you have a great support from all your fans, and maybe bring new fans to support your music as well. And
Definitely.
I hope you have a fantastic time when you come to the best city in the world, which is Manchester, UK, as well.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to it. Proper. Did you mean Liverpool there? Or?
Manchester! I can't even do it, but yeah.
All right, kid. I'll let you off.
But I will say this, though. I would love to know who I should bring onto my show to follow in your footsteps.
Following my footsteps?
Yeah. Who should I bring on? Who should I bring on? What do you think? I'll get your suggestions.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, within the blues rock, or can it be anybody?
Anybody at all? This is quite a variety show. As you probably, if you've seen any of my videos, you see I've had on all sorts of different people on the show.
There's a band that was supporting me at the moment called Pixie Rhythm Cut Orchestra. And they're quite cool, from Ireland.
Wow.
And yeah, Sarah, she's the lead singer. She's got the pixie cut and everything. I think she'd be quite different to interview, because first of all, you'd have to understand her with her Irish accent.
Yes.
But it'd be cool, I like to give new talent support as well, and come out and give them an audience to play to as well. And it's been great to have different bands open up for us, not just another blues rock band, but they're a bit more edgy, a bit more punky and rocky. So yeah, that's quite cool as well, to give the fans a little bit quirky as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and it's always good to give new artists some airtime to see what they can bring to the table and help them to expand and get some exposure.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it is, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for your suggestion as well, Laurence, and I hope that you have a great rest of your evening as well, and I hope you will come back on my show. I hope, because again, this is not the BBC.
No, if you have us on, if we behave well.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime you want to do it on anytime. This is not the BBC, but I mean, I hope this. I hope this rates. I hope this rates up there with the BBC, with the way this is gone, and this more conversational than a yes and no sort of interview. I hope.
You've got a cooler background in the BBC.
Yes, the lovely Sofa Keys, as we had to say here. Yes, but yeah, absolutely, always a pleasure, and thank you for you've been one of the people I've been trying to get on the show for a long time. There's only about 2 people on my hand I can list who have been on my bucket list to get on the show, and when it was announced I'll have you on the show, I was like, oh, it's finally going to happen, and here we are. So after over a year of trying to get you on the show, it's happened. So it's been worth the wait. Yeah, it's been worth the wait. And thank you again for your time tonight. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode, smash the like button, share the video around, tell everyone in the comment section below about Laurence, and tell them about his great tour, and I hope you get to go and see it. If you do go and see it, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about his performance as well, and any future questions you may want to ask Laurence as well, which we'll make sure to get across to him. And if you're new around here and like the content, like the free flow, off the cuff conversation, because it goes, my guest Laurence had no idea what I was going to say, then smash that subscribe button. 284 of you already done so thank you to you, and I hope you can help me to get to 300 subscribers.
Let's do it, come on, not that far away now.
Exactly, and as well, this is episode 191 of these apparently, so there you go, 191 episodes of this show, so thank you so much for over 6 years almost, so there we go. But until the next episode, which will be on Wednesday, enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon or evening.